Under the cloud of an economic crisis, Europe is launching its first ever conference this week to kick off 2 tough years of negotiations on the EU's next long-term budget. The last budget talks were extremely difficult, and in crisis conditions, setting criteria will be complicated. The European Parliament and Commission agree that the 7-year budget should rise by almost 5%, but big EU member states, including France and Germany, want a freeze. They want Europe to cut its spending just like they are.
I think they will accept an increase around the inflation rate, which is just over 2%. And if there is an increase in the EU budget post-2030, just over 2%, we've got to make sure that the spending during that period is on our priorities. And for me, the priorities must be jobs and growth in the EU.
But even a 5% rise will not be enough to realise EU ambitions. Funds are needed for the External Action Service to make Europe a global player. More money must also go to combat illegal immigration and terrorism and protect citizens' rights. One solution could be a direct EU tax, but few states want taxes levied in Brussels.
Il faut faire de la pédagogie vis-à-vis des parlements nationaux. Et je suis persuadé que si on l'explique bien, les parlements nationaux trouveront intérêt à être déchargés de cette charge qui pèse énormément dans leur budget national. Pour la France, c'est 18 milliards d'euros par an.
Most money is spent on agriculture, which France staunchly defends, but also on development projects so vital to Central and Eastern nations. The EU has 2 years to find a solution.
The EU finally agreed on a regulation to make betting on a country's default more difficult. Hedge funds stand accused of using credit default swaps to bet on a Greek default in 2010, driving up the cost of rescuing Greece. MEP Pascal Canfin was one of the main negotiators.
Il y a donc une interdiction permanente et générale des CDS non couverts sur les dettes souveraines.
The European Parliament Journalism Award 2011 goes to Massimiliano Nespola for Internet, Dero Koskinen for TV, Stefan Wurzel for Radio and Romain Guber for print. The latter won over the judges with his report on the evolution of the euro.
C'est aussi ça notre métier de journaliste, c'est d'essayer au-delà des faits, de l'attaque que les marchés font sur la monnaie unique, c'est d'essayer de donner des clés, de donner des éléments de compréhension.
Medical scientists fear new discoveries are at risk as companies won't invest in their research following a ban imposed by the European Court of Justice on the patenting of embryonic stem cell inventions. Genetics expert and MEP Dr. Peter Liese welcomed the judgment.
When you destroy human life, even in an early stage, this cannot be patentable. We have already 70 diseases which we can cure with alternatives.